I knew that one essential thing we would have to do before we actually moved in was redo the floor. There was some damage in some places, and so I started pulling this up before we got furniture and everything, and before we moved into the house. You can see it comes up pretty easy. It didn't take that long. This whole process took maybe 45 minutes to get the laminate flooring up, and it was throughout the whole house, everywhere except for the bathrooms. It has this sort of synthetic felt underlayment, and so once you just break the wood panels off, you can just pull this rolls right up real easy, and it can just come out. Another thing I had to do was clean up the concrete around the fireplace that had obviously been reworked a few times and was not even, so I had to get that cleaned up. Once I had it all cleaned up, I was able to bring the flooring inside. It comes in these little boxes, I think with maybe 10 or 15 pieces each. I had to grind the floor down. You can see there was a few nails sticking up, and grinding all the extra glue and other things off the floor to make sure that this luxury vinyl plank that we have went down nice and smooth. After I got the floor all leveled out and cleaned up, it was time to just sweep and get ready to put the planks down. This is one of the most satisfying things, I always think, getting the floor swept and cleaned and get everything off. This first row of planks is actually the most important, getting it completely parallel with the wall, square with the edge of the wall. Getting these first cuts was like the most important, and so I spent a good amount of time just making sure all this is completely straight. The reason I started there on the wall instead of all the way back in the corner where this front door is because you have to make sure that I wanted to make sure that one whole plank lined up with the edge of the wall. I didn't want to like start over there in the back corner of the door and then work my way forward and have to cut all of those planks down, like because they were at the corner of the wall. This portion here right in front of the door took forever because I was learning how to put this plank down, offset the plank so that it looked natural and normal, and then getting them cut and squared into this area specifically was challenging for me, but it was a good kind of starter place to get it figured out and learn how to cut the plank, and it was a good little piece of floor that I could work on that wasn't too long, and I could see how to fit all the different planks together and get them all squared and lined up. I actually lost some of the footage here. You can see I've done quite a bit more plank, but in the time that I got this next portion down, I learned that it's actually really easy to create obviously unwanted gaps in between the planks. So you have to be particularly careful when you're hammering and wedging or putting the planks in there, because it's really easy to leave gaps. Get any little piece of dirt or like a little pebble or something will actually wedge in between the tongue and groove kind of fittings, not tongue and groove, but these like snap fittings, and it can leave little high spots or like little cracks essentially in between all. And so one of my main takeaways actually from having done this myself was that it would be really easy to do a bad job, but it look okay without like a very careful look at it. There's like little details and little cracks and wedges and things that like I would pull planks up multiple times to make sure that they were down level. I would pull up planks that I already put down because they were too close to other similar planks. And so if you do decide to use this vinyl plank, which I actually like, it's held up well over the last year that we've had it, and you decide to hire someone to do it, I don't know how you would vet that, but like maybe ask for pictures or go try to evaluate something that they've already done, because like I said, it would be pretty easy to do kind of a bad job, and I could see like having it not hold up over time because you weren't very careful with putting the planks all into place perfectly and getting the patterns how you wanted. So just something to think about. The entire process took me 2 full days. So this entire house doing it took 2 days. And that was those are probably like 14 or 15 hour days. You can see here it's all done. I was able to get this down. I was exhausted by the end of it. It was way more physical than I was expecting. But you can see now we've got the walls painted. The last thing after this coming up will be baseboards and getting the finishes in, light fixtures, all the electrical socket covers and switch covers and everything like that. And overall, we're pretty happy with the result. We have lived in this house now for over a year with this plank. There are a couple of places, one that has a little crack from a screwdriver that I dropped right on the edge, but really it's held up really well. You can see this obviously before we put the carpet in, so it's got these unfinished edges, but once the carpet went down, I got it all trimmed up and it's looking good and I've been really happy with it.